Hello everybody and welcome back to Bedrock Survival with Fix. Well, hey, I hope you are enjoying the brand new hot off the presses Skyblock series. I know I have I'm having a great time playing it. And it's nice to mix up and play something a little bit different. So if you haven't jumped on board that train, just the first 2 episodes have gone out. And yeah, it should be a really fun time. It's going to sort of bridge the gap between, well, it's going to be something that we talk about a lot today. So it's going to bridge the gap between this series of what we're doing right now and then what I want to do in 117. So while I'm doing a little grindy grind here, why don't we talk about that just a little wee bit. So a couple days ago, which is like a week ago for y'all because I'm out a little bit ahead as usual, a couple days ago the big snapshot dropped, the big Java snapshot, the one with all the new cave generation, and it is huge. It is much bigger than I actually anticipated being. Biggest among it is they increased world height 64 up and 64 down. That's gonna be of course Java and Bedrock. So you know, that changes things a little bit. That changes things from my perspective a little bit. Like, you know, I had always planned on never restarting this world and just continuing along when the new updates come, but having an extra 64 blocks up, the 64 down doesn't really influence our world all that much, but the 64 up does, because we have this big mountain. All the new blocks, all that kind of stuff. I hope that there won't be major chunk borders and stuff like that on the update. I hope that there won't be. If there are, then maybe that makes the decision for us. But yeah, I don't know. At this point right now, I have no plans on resetting this world and starting fresh. I know a lot of people are going to. I know a ton of people are. I know Sausage will. I know Whip will. I think Germ is going to transfer some of his builds over to a new world. So not start over necessarily, but start with kind of a fresh world. I don't know. I'd love to get some input from you folks, my good YouTube friends, on what the best move is for this world in particular. I'm not talking about Vasten or not talking about anything else. You know, I would expect by the time it comes out, probably the modded series will probably be over. The Skyblock series is never intended to be a super long lasting series. I think that series will, I don't know how long it'll last. I would say that is probably going to be like a 15 to 20 sort of episode series. You know, it's kind of a mini series. It's going to be fun to build something fun and then move right along. But you'll have to let me know what about this world, because by the time that comes out, we will be well into season 2, which was planned. You know, after I get up to episode 200, I'm going to start the next season of this. And yeah, I'm just looking for some input. So please let me know what you think. Do you want that fresh car smell? Do you want to restart? Do you want to just keep on going and all that kind of stuff, or what's the best thing? What's the best thing for you? Talk a little bit about this build as we continue along here. I'll just not fly. Oh, there we go. Okay, so where do we stand right now on this build? Well, I actually have it all sort of filled in as far as the walls go. So now this entire area here is filled in up to the walls. So I think what I want to do next is continue to work up in this area here. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to build up all of these walls the whole way around here, an additional probably 2, just to give it a little bit of height. Yeah, I think 2 probably. So something like this, the whole way around. And then we're going to do a walkway that goes actually the entire way around, which will be the first walkway that we had that actually goes, you know, the entire distance around. This will be a nice place for maybe the defensibility of the castle and all that kind of stuff as time goes on. But yeah, we're gonna do something like this the whole way, and then we'll probably do like a set walkway. I'd like to bring in a little bit of color. That's probably where we're gonna need to go. Probably pretty hardcore dark oak farming for a nice set walkway. But I think, oh, how are we gonna get around this? I wonder. Well, we could just do this. I think that'll work. Let's just go, so I have a sort of plan in place for the whole way around here. We're just going to go like this. And we'll stay right on top of this. We'll come in. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm doing this on camera. It's just, I just want to make sure that I have a set sort of plan. Oh, am I out of cobblestone? Just about. A set sort of plan. That should work, I think, right? Yeah, that should work, I think. Okay, cool. I'll do it. While I'm continuing to work on this here, I just want to mention this early in the video is if you are into the lore bit, I have some lore coming up this episode. I finished the next book that I'm going to be leaving somewhere, and I actually have a plan of exactly how we're going to sort of explain the books and the timeline and all that kind of stuff in future books, basically. And the Lore of Tovlan series, I think what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be including that within this video. You know, I got a great comment from a patron. I'm not sure if it's off the record or not because it was in a private chat, but so I won't mention him, but said that, hey, we love you, Fix. I think that, you know, most of us came here because of your Vasten content and the lore and all that kind of stuff, and we'll still watch everything you do, but maybe that's why things have changed. And you're right. You're totally right. Things have changed a bit. I think we all probably understand why, but things have changed a bit. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to give up on the lore or keep the lore sort of sequestered in its own little playlist, on its own little video. So I really want to dive more into that. And I think the lore that we have for this world is as juicy or even maybe juicier than Vasten lore, to be totally honest, because I love the sort of reality-based lore that we're into here. I think it's going to be really, really cool and open up a lot of doors for all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be all told through books, which I think can be really awesome. So in addition to all the building and stuff like that, we're going to be spending time every episode, or nearly every episode, reading or writing books that we're going to leave in the world somewhere. And some are going to be regular books written by the Council of Events, which we covered. Council of Events, that's kind of that's the descendants of the historians that were aboard the crashed spaceship that crashed. Well, the escape pods crashed 9,500 years ago. The actual ship finally crashed much, much longer ago, which actually seeded life on the planet and all that kind of stuff. But there we go, done, cool. So there's going to be a lot more lore coming and a lot more sort of juicy stuff. There's going to be tales from wars. I mean, 9,500 years ago, you know, I didn't pick that number completely randomly. I wanted a number where there could be rise and falls of many, many, many civilizations in this world. All the descendants of these crashed astronauts, right? So later on today, we're going to be reading the book that I got. And the book that I did this time isn't a super huge, groundbreaking war book. It's actually just kind of a fun book, telling a story that happened within this world. So you know, we're going to bounce all over time. It's not going to be told in a coherent, you know, in order time. Some books will be from a few years ago. Some will be from a few hundred years ago. Some might be from 6,000 years ago, you know, and because of the Council events, because of the way that they have sort of instructed people, everyone copies books and treats these books as really sacred, their sacred duty. The Council events, having lasted thousands of years, is kind of like, I don't know, I almost think of them as like the Knights Templar of this world, right? Like they're a very old organization that has really, you know, their real mission is to preserve and record history, and they have sort of inbred that in everyone's mind. So yeah, it could be a lot of fun. So we're gonna get to that book later on. Next, though, I need to get some dark oak and put in a lot of this. I'm going to go with these slabs. I don't think it really matters if it's slabs or full blocks. I like the idea that slabs are going to give you that sort of, I don't know, that kind of like extra dimension from the bottom if you look up and see it. And I think that's kind of cool. So let's get to work. I'm going to go all the way around here. Maybe two or even maybe three. Oh, stupid thing. Maybe two or even three times. We're just going to go around and create a nice big walkway going around here. It should be cool. Okay, I have just enough time to show you this before I have to go and run a couple errands here. But I worked on a little bit more here. I got a little bit of a stairway going up here just so I can sort of start to connect things inside. And I think we're just about... It looks so cool. It looks really cool from down here whenever you look up and you see all the different sort of ways up and down. It looks awesome. Yeah, look up there. Oh, man. Looks awesome. So I think what I want to do at this point probably is begin work on the central tower. That way I'll know sort of where it is. So I'm not going to do this right now because I'm going to have to do a bit of grind. I think I'm going to have to go back and get some more resources. I'm pretty darn close to out of stuff, but grab my remaining smooth stone. This is all I got left in the whole world right now. And let's take a look here. So what I'm thinking that we sort of maybe use this level right here, and we're going to come in, we're going to make the central tower, which is going to be probably connected about this size. It's probably going to be exactly this size, and then we can make that go up as high as we possibly want. And then we'll be able to know how big these outer sort of buildings and towers and stuff like that need to be, and we can start to really close stuff in. So I'm actually kind of thinking that maybe we put a roof on this up to the central tower. So that means I'm looking at the central tower being right here. So I'm going to take the inside one, and we're going to go up to about even with this. It's kind of hard to tell. Would actually have been easier from the other side. What would you say we go over to the other? Oh, too fast. Okay, we go over here, and where is it? It's right here. It's on the inside of this. Okay, so we'll go right on this. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a design. That way I can start to use some jack-o'-lanterns in the floor, like right in the floor, which is going to light up from the bottom. I think that's going to be really a cool look as well, especially with the RTX. And something like this. Okay, so this is going to be a flat roof that's going to go all around here. And then we're going to have buildings up on top of it. But then finally, all of this sort of weave of stairs and all that kind of stuff is going to be basically over. So we'll go along here. It's going to take a little bit of measuring and stuff. But I'm going to try to make this circle. Is that the same? Yeah, that's good. I think maybe it'd be easier to go this way. So I'm going to make this circle, copy it up here, put in some supports, and fill in all of this. We'll have to come up with the jack-o'-lantern design. Maybe I'll fill in the beginnings of it, and then we'll come back and we'll start to talk a little bit about design and try to figure out a way to do it. This roof is going to make a huge difference. In fact, I've been thinking about it a little bit more, and I think I'm going to bring some glass into this as well. Knowing that this is going to go up a lot more, I think I want to have some glass roofs that are actually going to see the sky. So I think what I want to do is do some sort of thing where I'm going to connect from here over to there somehow, and it's just going to be filled with glass. Like I could go 2-pane glass, you know, I could go I could go like this and just go along here, so there's just 2 rows of glass. That could actually kind of work. But I think that if I want to do that, I actually want to go further, because I think I want to have now this is going to cost, oh, this is going to be so expensive. I want to use jack-o'-lanterns all the way around here, all the way around the ring on the outside, to really make this thing just light up, like really utilize the RTX as much as I possibly can. And I think it's going to be awesome. Now we're not going to go, I'm going to save a little bit on how many I do. Like I'm not going to go in the corners. I'm just going to go kind of like this around the ring. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to go, oh man, this is going to be so expensive. I'm going to have to just AFK here so much just to harvest all the pumpkins. But this is something I have so far. I get, what do I get? I have 64. Each quarter is 64. So if every pumpkin is grown, I have 4 stacks of pumpkins available to me now. And, you know, you never get all of them grown. Some aren't, or some get trampled by mobs or whatever. But, yeah, I think it's going to be cool. It's going to look great from the outside, especially once we dome in the whole thing. So the RTX is just like, just shining everywhere that it's supposed to. And it's going to be awesome. But yeah, it's going to cost so much. So, okay, well, let's get this part done. And then I think once we get that part done, it'll probably be about time to go read our book. So I'll finish this up, and then I'll show you, and then we'll go read our lore book, which is going to be just awesome. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. You know, I just slept, darn it, and I wish I hadn't, because nighttime looks so cool with this design. So unfortunately, we're going to miss that for right now. But check it out. Yeah, you starting to see? Oh man, look at the design. Looks so cool. So I came up with some decisions here that are going to be awesome for basically the next episode. So we're going to be bringing some greenery in right here. That's going to be cool. Obviously, this is going to be a super tall tower. This all needs support still. These 4 buildings are going to be 4 sort of crescent-shaped buildings. They're going to be basically for the offices of these advanced, sort of ancient advanced people. That'll be awesome. Oh man. It's starting to look so freaking cool. I'm just loving it so much. Check it out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's like awesome and kind of futuristic and oh yes. Yeah, definitely. So I'm definitely going to have these lights still continuing to glow. I love how it's going to be like kind of a mixture of modern and also ancient at the same time, or futuristic and ancient. I just think that's a really cool way to do it. So I've heard you guys like lore. You folks like lore. And so that's what we're going to be doing. I am going to go grab a book. I can't imagine that I have the stuff I need right here. No, I don't. So I'm going to go grab a book and put it in the book, and then we're going to do a little bit of reading together, okay? I'll see you back at the main base. All right, fair warning, it's kind of a long book. It's a bit of a story, not a giant historical significant moment, but I thought it was kind of an interesting thing. So, 'Twas So Foul by F. Ginkle II. E. I don't know why that's there. Let's just get rid of that. Boop. It was at the request of the Queen. The channels she must have taken to contact me were extensive, but I'm quite sure it was her handwriting. What else could I do? When the Queen of Furtick's castle summons you, you go to see the Queen. The seal in the message was unbroken, and the message was clear. I followed the directions precisely. Gather the ingredients, mixed to her specifications, packed up and carried with the utmost of care to the small kingdom of Furtick. Once there, I was to look at the messenger who was supposed to meet me in the town square, yet he made no appearance. Perhaps something interfered, I wondered as I sat on the bench looking over a rose garden. No matter, my father used to work in this very castle, and many a night I sat by our hearth enthralled by his tales of life serving in the king's court. Aye, that must have been it. Finally, after days of travel since receiving my queen's summons, I understood why she picked me. My father was a loyal servant to her husband. She must have heard of his passing and sent for me in order to convey her condolences. Up I sprang and hurried off to the servants' entrance. It was such luck that the first person I encountered recognized me. Farid, the guard exclaimed. It was one of only a few friends who made the journey to our home after father took ill. What are you doing here? I explained that I was here to see the Queen. Shock would not properly describe the look on his face. He asked to see the letter, which of course I explained were for my eyes only, and was a private correspondence from Her Majesty. He thought for a moment and asked me to wait outside while he got someone to show me in. As I sat, I replayed our conversation. How could he recognize me all these years later? Am I not quite bigger? Is my hair not much longer? Nothing felt quite right. Feeling increased dread, I waited until no servants could see me, and I slipped inside. It took only a few lucky turns to find a servant's quarters. Of course, I thought Her Majesty would want her most trusted close by. I quickly dressed in some of this servant's clothes so I could better blend in. I drew not even a second glance as I navigated the halls looking for a corridor up. "You there!" shouted a gruff man in matching attire. I looked up, fearing I had been found out. "Take this up to the advisor's table, and be quick." I didn't meet the man's eyes as I took the plate of cheese and nodded, hurrying away. Still having no idea where to go, but wanting to get away from this giant of a man quickly, I guessed. It was at this moment I knew the gods were on my side. Only 2 doors and a staircase, I emerged in the royal court. My plate of cheese may as well have been a cloak of invisibility. No guards took a second look in my direction. I saw her standing by a window in close discussions with a young girl. There were 2 guards standing near. I had an opening, and I knew this was my time. "Cheese, your grace?" She looked at me, her eyes narrowing. I wasn't sure she was going to respond, given how long her pause was. My poor heart was beating so loudly, I was sure the guards would hear her and be onto my ruse. "Come closer," she said in a near whisper. So powerful her voice was, so sure of herself. I moved slowly a few steps towards her, and I took a breath. "My queen, I received your letter." I reached inside my vest to pull forth Her Majesty's summons. In truth, I'm not sure of the events of the next moments. I remember seeing a guard rush towards me, then the pain of the stone floor as I hit with all the combined weight of my body and the guard laying on top. "Your Grace, I have a letter! You summoned me!" I screamed, vaguely aware of guards pulling me up and searching my pockets. "Is this your letter?" demanded a guard, pulling my father's dagger from my belt. "It's in my inside pocket." He pulled out my paper, folded several times, as the other guards pulled me away. "Read it," commanded the Queen. The last thing I saw before they disappeared around a corner, the guard opened up my paper and held it up. "It's just a blank paper, Your Grace." I saw the paper was indeed simply plain parchment. How had I been betrayed? Story dictated by the beggar Clyde Rodney before his death by swinging in the year minus 111. The council is determined a mental break from reality was the cause of this simple beggar creating the delusion of a letter being summoned by the queen. The queen herself wrote of the incident in her logs, claiming no knowledge of it. That being said, the guard who recognized Farid, Lieutenant Garland Brooke, died only a few days later in somewhat mysterious accident. The investigation ended by order of the court. No further inquiries were made. Louis de Gras, Council of Events. So we're going to put this somewhere on a lectern. I'm not sure exactly where. I need to actually go get some lectern. So I might go do that. I'm going to just stick that in the house somewhere. So I've been thinking about the way we're going to do this with books. And I have an idea. I have a plan. I think how we'll do this is there are going to be two types of books. There are going to be books of the general known history of Tovalin, but then there's also going to be forbidden books. And what those books are going to be, those are going to be transcribed books or of the logs from the actual first space astronauts who crashed here. So the way we're going to do it is as their machines sort of aged, the Council of Events decided to take these into log. Now, it's kind of forbidden knowledge. The king of some time ago declared that no one is going to talk of the olden days. No one's going to talk about that how there used to be space flight and all that kind of stuff. So, knowing that, there's probably going to be some secret things in that book, and those are going to have to be forbidden. So those are going to be kind of hidden. Those will be the ones that you find maybe in the basement or in chests or something like that in the world. Oh, very, very nice. Thank you for that. I just want to make I want to have easy means to a bunch of lecterns, so that's why I'm going to grab those. So there's going to be forbidden books, which are going to be transcriptions of the logs, and those will be read, I believe, by my friends, if I can convince them to do some reading for me. My friends who crashed here, playing characters who crashed here. And so we're going to do that. And then the ones that are the regular ones, I'll just read kind of like we just did. So it should be a lot of fun here. I think we'll just maybe put one of this book here that we just read over here in Dockside. This is not a forbidden book. This is kind of a regular old book. So, but that's going to do it for me. I am going to put this book in a chest. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you all next time for some more Bedrock Survival with Fix. I really do appreciate you spending part of your day with me. Is it like this? Of course, I never know the recipe. Let's see if we can find it. Nope. Lectern. Apparently is. I think I can make it. Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody. Love you all. Oh, cool. Pretty cheap. Nice. Okay, see you all. Bye.